All right, so she did great.
Fantastic.
And we started out going through the nose. She didn't have any coughing problems. Anesthesia-wise, she did great.
Okay, great.
We went through the nose, and I could see the spot along the eye where we had biopsied it. But one of the things is when we're in the office, it always hurts a lot. It's hard to really see up in there good.
Yep.
That part was extending into the front wall of this sinus. And so there was no way with the curve instruments that I could reach all of it.
All right.
So we went ahead and went under the lip.
Okay.
And made a hole about the size of a dime, maybe a little smaller than a dime, through the front wall of this sinus.
Okay.
The bottom part of that hole was kind of exactly where the tumor was. And then above it, I was able to go all along that wall. And everyone's sinus right here is a little different in how the shape of it is.
Okay.
And hers goes up. At the front part, there's like a little, like a shape where it goes. So here would be the floor of the eye, and then the front part of that sinus has like a cupola, like on a steeple in a church where it goes up into that space.
All right.
And her tumor extended up into there.
All right.
Okay, so really once I went through the mouth, it was obvious that was the right decision, and I had to get up in there because that was, you couldn't get any instrument through the nose to there.
All right.
So all of that, we took all that papilloma off and a little bit of a ring of normal skin around it.
Okay.
Drilled it all, cauterized it all so that it's nice and smooth and white bone.
Okay.
This area was not connected to the part we saw last time where the eye bone was missing. So that was farther posterior, separate from this.
All right.
So probably from previous, the very front aspect still had some hiding up in there that since we didn't go under the lip, that we couldn't totally see. So now we saw everywhere perfectly underneath the lip, got every bit I could possibly see. The areas where we worked before looked all good. So this is an area.
Okay, that's great.
This is primarily an area where we hadn't worked before.
All right. Potentially, it's always been in there. I mean,
Maybe, or it was the very front edge that was left behind, and then that front edge has kind of grown up into that hole.
Okay.
So it's hard, right? Because you try not to take everything out of her nose. So sometimes the edges still go. But now that we're in there, I took wider margins around it. The only area I didn't is where the duct goes up from the nose into the eye that drains the tears.
Right.
So we took some of that tissue, but if I take too much, it can clog that off and then tears would run down her face.
All right.
We did work right in that area, but usually that doesn't happen when we do this.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Very good. All right. One of the questions I think she might ask was nerves. It's like, so this time around, are we into some nerves? I mean,
we're along a very similar path where that nerve is.
Okay.
And then also when you make the incision in the mouth, you do cut through a couple of the branches of the nerve, but not the primary trunk of it.
All right.
That's still intact, but once again, that runs in that cave right along the floor of the eye.
Right.
So we'll see how she does from that. Hopefully it doesn't get super painful like it did, but...
Right. No, you got to get the stuff out. So I mean, that's the most important thing. Okay.
So, because all the edges were cauterized, so I did not put anything
that takes
into
care of
that.
it. Okay.
She does have the incision in her mouth that has sutures in it, and so it's really important for her not to mess with it.
All right.
Don't get your tongue up in there and mess with it all the time because you can work those sutures out. And so she knows the downsides.
Mm-hmm.
This side's a little different because we went underneath the lip.
Okay.
But it was required by where the tumor had grown.
That's good.
We got her all out today.
All right, good.
And we'll have to be very vigilant post-op and a little bit different in how we use a flexible scope and where we're looking to see if it comes back. It'll be more up into the cheek sinus rather than before it was along the eye.
Okay, all right. Well, we're thinking the third time's a charm. How's that?
So
all right.
I'm trying to stay calm.
Jason, try to breathe, Marlon.
Looking from anxiety.
All right, well, now, like you said, mind over matter, Kathy. Just try to breathe, okay? Just breathe. You want more ice?
I'm just trying to calm down. I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah, Kathy. Third time's a charm. I think he feels more comfortable this time than ever about getting it all, okay?
The medicine should maybe help stop all that shaking and panic feeling.
I think it's worked.
Yeah, I think so too. That was a real panic attack.
I agree.
So tired.
I imagine some.
Can you see any like
You can.
swelling or like,
Yeah, I mean,
like
it's-
inside right now?
No, don't go listen. Don't. No, I can't tell anything. I can't. You wouldn't even know you had surgery from the outside.
It just hurts right here.
Yeah. I'm sure that incision itself hurts, and then whatever else.
I feel like somebody punched me in the mouth really hard.
This time there's no. Everything was cauterized. There's none of that gel or powder, so you should not have any.
Yeah, last time I choked up all that.
You won't do
weird
that this time.
Packing. I threw it up.
You won't have it this time.
What's that?
They had to do
And
that.
I had splints in my nose. The medicine has kicked in.
Yeah. You can have one more shot too, so just make sure before we leave here that you're all good to go. All right. That's enough.
You can calm me down.
All right, good. I'm glad you're calming down. We can video a little bit then.
I was really panicking.
Yep.
Panic attacks are so real.
I agree. You were panicking. The medicine I think they gave you is helping you, I'm sure.
I think it is. I'm not as nauseous. And I'm still hurting. I'm hurting, but I'm not as panicky.
Keep breathing, okay?
Okay, I feel like I'm getting a little calmer. I was really scared. I feel like my shakes are going away. The pain in I can feel the pain in my gum line, but my throat doesn't hurt as bad. And my nerves feel like they're calming down.
Sure, also we're getting something. Two things for all those things, so
Okay.
you need to keep that in mind.
Boy, that was a real panic attack. My husband's so nice to me. Thank you for hurting me. Not hurting me, but thank you for helping that hurt in my pain. I'm sad that they had to cut my gum, but I'm glad that he really feels like he got it all this time. Okay, I'll record more in a little bit. So I just finished listening to the memo that the doctor gave my husband. And I'm so glad that I have that, because my husband doesn't remember details. And whatever they gave me stopped all my panicking. So that's good. I'm sure I'm in high pain medicine, but I still feel pain. Oh, my mouth hurts. Right here.
Hi, how you doing now?
Better. Still hurting. But definitely not panicking.
Alright, good. Oxygen's good. That went down a few times. Next hurting. Incision and clean out areas hurting. Hope to get paperwork soon and leave. Anything you want to add? Love you.
And the nurse just came in and gave me my instructions. I might not be talking loud enough for this, but I'm heading home soon. Okay, I had to quick put this photo in here because this is the nurse. They nicknamed her Sweet Tea. Her name's Teresa. And I obviously am really feeling good at this point because that photo does not look like I just walked out of surgery. Okay, we're headed home.
Well,
I am not going to repeat what I want to talk about right now because if I edit this video, I've already listened to what the doctor said. Thank you for recording all of that.
you're welcome.
So I'm going to be on an antibiotic. We're going to stop and get that.
But stop and get it dropped off. Yeah, I think we can wait since you got your.
They didn't call it in? Do I have a piece of paper?
We have a piece of paper.
Okay. And whatever it is, what did they give me? What was the name of that drug? She said I can't have it. I can't have a prescription of it, but man, did it make me feel good. It made me feel, I'm so calm. That feels so good to feel calm. I'm not able to speak clearly or have my mouth opened all the way because this is probably the most pain I'm feeling right now. And surprisingly, I don't have that sore throat that I usually have when from surgery.
Pain medicine and not feel it.
This guy right here is my hero. I love you, honey.
I love you too.
It's noon. It's 12 o'clock. So we're on our way home, and I will probably be taking a nap. I think I'm just gonna. I'll probably get on one more time before I start my editing process. Well, we're not home yet, and I'm having a nosebleed. They didn't send me home with any gauze because they told me I wouldn't be having any nosebleeds this time. And I haven't had nosebleeds in previous surgeries. So I called the surgery center and they gave me my doctor's cell phone number to call and told me to call my doctor. So he told me to go home and spray Afrin in my nose. So that's what I'm gonna do. I got the bleeding to stop, and my husband just left to go pick up my prescription. And I'm going to take a nap. So it is 5 o'clock. I'm going to be taking my next dose of pain medication in about an hour. Slowly starting to feel a little bit of pain. Going through my post-operative instructions, because I have an incision up through my gum line. I'm supposed to rinse 3 times a day. So my husband found this zero alcohol mouthwash so it won't sting, and not to swish hard or anything like that because I don't want to open up any blood clotting. And I am having nosebleeds. I've had 2 since I've been home. It's when I spit in the sink and when I bend down, my nose starts to bleed. I used the Afrin the one time when I got home because I called the surgeon. He cauterized me, and so I shouldn't be having nosebleeds, but for some reason I am. So I'm trying to monitor that. And then just as in my previous surgeries, I have to do the sinus rinse 3 times a day. But that doesn't start until tomorrow. So, yeah, I've got my alarm set. I'm taking amoxicillin because of the incision. I have prednisone for inflammation and oxycodone. And I'm gonna continue staying on the prednisone. I think it's a 4 days of that. And the amoxicillin, I don't know how many days, but I'll take that all the way through. But as far as the oxycodone, I might switch to ibuprofen after tomorrow, depending on my pain. Whatever they gave me for that panic attack was really good. So, but yeah, I think this is a wrap for the actual day of my surgery. And I will vlog again tomorrow. And keep documenting, maybe even through the night, but that will be in another video. If something happens in the middle of the night, I definitely will document it. All right, that's it.